hope that sunfish
You're
makes YouTube
slutty
meme.
cat, dude.
Hey, man. Anybody listening to the podcast, if you haven't gone to YouTube yet, do it now. 26-minute mark. You're going to find an absolute golden starfish on Leah's screen, and it's the best thing I've seen all day.
Hey, Husky fans, welcome back to another episode of Fourth and Inches, a Husky podcast. I'm your host tonight, Leah. The SEC sucks. I am joined by Trevor Mueller. We won the bye. Coach V and Jakey Grant up there with his hoodie on. We won the bye. We did not lose a game in a whole 2 weeks now because we beat Illinois and we didn't lose, and now we're going to go to Camp Randall and see if we can get it done against the Badgers. It's been an exciting week because we've got obviously our offensive line back intact. We're heading on the road. We're finding ourselves ranked for the first time this week, both in the Associated Press at number 24 and in the college football playoff ranking at number 23. What do we think about how the rankings shook out, you guys?
When UW got to be ranked on their week off, it made me think of Friday. I was like, damn, how are you about to get ranked on your week off?
And you guys about to get fired on your week off.
Yeah. It's not a hoodie. It's a full body Snuggie. I am super comp right now. I'm feeling great. Going into this week, I thought we should have been ranked prior to. The interesting part was, did everybody watch the CFP ranking show?
I tried to.
Some of us have to work in the evenings.
I did, and it was kind of not just because of UW. I thought UW would be ranked somewhere around 20 to 23-ish. They just don't have the respect for us yet. But it was pretty damning when I saw Oregon fall all the way to 9. I was kind of surprised by that.
I totally agree, but also to your point, Jake, like they have not given us respect yet. Have they ever had respect for us, Jake?
Yeah. I can't answer. No.
It's really interesting because like 2016 there was a lot of talks about some other teams, and I think that's where the love affair between Coach and James Franklin really started.
I was like, that's the origin story for the hate.
Yep. 100%.
And then even 2023 it was begrudgingly keeping Washington in the top 4. Just like, okay, wait until Oregon beats them in the Pac-12 championship, and then we can finally put to bed this whole Washington talk. And that was basically everybody outside of the state of Washington and Joel Klatt. So it's just going to be a thing. Like, even, I mean, let's talk NFL for a second. Pat McAfee was talking about after Seattle went out and got this receiver from New Orleans. He was like, man, we got to talk about Seattle more. They're just like so far out there. They're a really good team, but man, it's hard to follow because, it's the whole Alaska thing, right? We're way out in the middle of it's too far away from everything else, even though we talk about Eugene, Oregon. And more of that's because of that Nike money. But Washington is always going to have to fight an uphill battle because of how far away we are from Bristol, Connecticut.
Also, I mean, what a great time to be a Seattle sports fan, right? It's not just the Huskies right now that are playing good. The Mariners, the Seahawks.
How was that? The Game 7 hate watch? Chef's kiss.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was glorious.
And the basketball teams all played well. Coach, go ahead.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive, you guys. I mean, it's a great. Yes, it's really exciting to be ranked, but I'm with you, actually, Jake. Like I actually felt like it was a little bit unfair for kind of the crap that this committee and the show writ large is giving for Oregon. And like, we're not obviously Oregon apologists, but for them to say Oregon has a weak schedule and in the same breath talk about a tough win that Ole Miss has against the mighty Cougs of Wazoo, who just lost to Oregon State. Are you outside of your mind? That's ridiculous. Go ahead, Coach. I thought you were going to say something.
So many things I have to say about that, but I was not surprised. I didn't get to watch the rankings live, but when everybody was texting about it, I was like, that feels right, because Indiana made them look soft, made them look like they weren't the same team. Then they have the issues with, the quarterback and, being banged up. And they've got this little stretch here. I know the Iowa fans are in full force talking a lot of smack to them on Twitter. I will never call it X. I'm sorry. And that's just interesting. I don't know if I see Iowa as that great of a team, but I haven't watched them that much this year. I just know that the University of Oregon has this little mini opportunity here to pump up their resume as much as possible before they go to Seattle and take their loss. Because if we're healthy, we're going to kick their ass.
As Joel Klatt said, Washington owns Oregon. Did you guys see that clip?
I think it was circulated in one of our group chats, and shout out Joe Klatt. He is a dog. He is a husky. I know he went to Colorado, but he's a husky.
Yeah, the few times I've watched Oregon, I mean, everybody made a big deal over the Penn State game, and then a week later they realized maybe Penn State's like booty.
Trash.
Like maybe they're just not good, and they aren't. And that it's just like, okay, well, we're going to hang our hat on this win. But it was the whiteout game. Doesn't that matter? No, it doesn't really matter, man. So Oregon has a lot to prove, and they've got 4 games to do it.
Yes, Jake.
I actually think Iowa's a lot. I mean, we're totally digressing here, but I actually think Iowa's a better matchup against Oregon than I do Penn State was, because Iowa is exactly what they've been the last 12 years. They play extremely tough-nosed defense. They don't break in the red zone, and they take the air out of the ball in offense. And that's exactly what is going to win against Oregon. They're not going to have the ball. They're going to run all over that defense, and they're going to lock down on Dante Moore. I mean, he's not going to have – I don't think he's even going to have 100 yards in this game throwing.
They scored 37 against Wisconsin, which Oregon could not do also.
Outside of Kenyon Sadiq, who are you afraid of on that team as far as on the perimeter? Or if your secondary is going against them, who else are you afraid of? Can't think of it.
And also, Iowa gave Indiana a really hard time. That's the closest game Indiana's had all season. And so Oregon absolutely needs to have their best game prepared. And, hopefully for our sake, Dan Lanning makes a couple of really questionable calls on 4th down. We know
he will. Is it in Eugene?
No.
No, it's in Iowa. That's the worst place to play, too. I love that. I can't wait to watch that game, because Iowa, man, that's like, me and Trev have talked about that for years. That's like a bucket list item game for us, I'd
like to go to Chemic.
I would love to go there.
So the interesting thing about that game is, obviously, every time Oregon plays anybody, we always want to see the other team do really well and kick their ass, and it's sometimes tough to come by. But then if Oregon wins, then if Oregon loses, I should say, if they lose, then Iowa's resume gets a bump. And then when we beat them, we won't get that same bump because they already lost to Iowa.
Yeah.
It's just this weird little catch-22, and
it's like conferences shouldn't be 18 teams large.
But I also think I agree. But I also think that if we win out and we take care of business, no matter who Oregon's lost to, I think we're in the playoff no matter what.
But the thing is, our resume only has Oregon left that anybody would care about and say, "Oh, that's a solid win." So if Oregon wins the next 3 games, that's a resume booster for us.
Mm-hmm.
If they lose this week, it doesn't help us as much as it helped Iowa to vault them up a little bit.
Agreed. Yep.
So, but ultimately we are always going to root for anyone who plays Oregon, especially in a big game like this.
I still want Oregon to lose by 40.
For sure. But how do we feel about the poll, as it stands? I mean, obviously we have so many teams in the SEC that are being ranked, and Kirk Herbstreit, who went to Ohio State, who is a Big Ten guy, talks about on ESPN about how, well, we have to rank the SEC better because they're just better. The last 2 national championships belong to this conference in the Big Ten. And if there
was one of them.
Yeah, your school was one of them last year and is undefeated and number 1 in the country right now. And it's so self-serving, in my opinion, to say, well, the SEC is so much better, and I just happen to believe that. And he's also paid by ESPN, who owns the SEC. So it's like, you can just follow the money trail. He likes dollars more than he likes the truth.
The only good thing about this Disney YouTube TV dispute is that I haven't had to watch the ESPN talking heads on my television just recycle their garbage over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, having said that, I would like to watch some games. But, we'll get to that some other time. Yeah, I cannot see for the life of me how people are influenced by this stuff anymore. Like, it's all money, it's all TV ratings and whatnot. The SEC was built up. I mean, listen, the SEC has a geographical advantage for athletes, especially the big ones. But also, they have really mediocre teams too in the SEC.
But Coach, Ole Miss would win the Pac-12. I think
they'd win the Pac-2.
Like
maybe
they
don't have to play in Pullman.
I mean, they beat the second place team in the Pac-12. I think it would be quite a barn burner there in Corvallis.
That's such a ridiculous thing to say, Trev.
You're welcome.
That is so tumultuous and just so spicy.
No lies told.
It's not a lie, but I mean, it's just so
stupid.
Yeah.
Trev likes to bring the dad jokes, the Duke and the dad jokes.
It feels icky. I mean, kick a guy while he's down. Go ahead, Trev. Oh, too late. Goodness gracious.
But I mean,
is like the Big Ten. Sorry, I just real quick. Yeah, sure. The SEC is pretty deep, right? I mean, we all can agree that the SEC has depth. Okay, but the first ranked and the second ranked team in the nation are Big Ten schools, and it's not close. Those two are by far 1 and 2, and then it's a pile of shit, and then it's the rest of everybody else. But if as the season goes on, it's going to be 4 Big Ten
call
teams.
Us a pile of shit?
Yeah, 100%. How was that the game compared to Ohio State? Yeah, it's not great. I mean, we're not there yet. Okay, we will be, but we're not there yet. But when the playoff hits, it's going to be 4 Big Ten teams, 4 SEC teams, and then fill in the rest. You got to have a Big 12. You got to have an independent. But Notre Dame's going to be ACC, and then you got to have a non-power 5. So at that point, it's just going to be SEC versus Big Ten. Who's going to win the national championship? Because the depth at that point doesn't matter. It's going to be 4 against 4. Who's the last team standing?
And most of the time in these big games, when the SEC plays the Big Ten, lately the Big Ten wins. Even outside of the big playoff, Michigan trucked Alabama in their bowl game. So I'm just not afraid of it. I know that, obviously Sark coaches for Texas. He's got to be a Texas guy. He's got to be at the SEC. And like, we should get at least 3 in. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing that we only got 3 in last year. How'd you do last year, buddy?
Yeah, not good, Bob.
Even the year before.
Right?
Yeah.
They weren't even in it. It was
the last Big Ten, future Big Ten?
Yeah, it was the last year of the Big Pac-12 and then the Big Ten.
Because last year it was Notre Dame and Ohio State, and the year before that it was us and Michigan. So
and who was so Texas was one team that lost. They were SEC. Who was the other team?
Alabama.
Yeah, so SEC got swept in that playoff too. So I mean, you can climb to the top of a mountain and scream all you want, but until you actually show that you can win a national championship in this format, you can't say nothing.
Well, or you can just fix it so that Alabama and the rest of the SEC gets an open path.
You could continue to win hypothetical national championships as well.
They do a lot of that, Trev. A lot.
I'm sorry. Can we rewind a little bit where Jake said that the 2 best teams in the country were here and everything below them was a pile of shit?
No, I said there was a big pile of shit, and then there was the rest of us.
Well, what's in between that and the pile of shit? It's like hey, we've got Ana de Armas and Sydney Sweeney here, and everybody else is the ugliest human you've ever seen.
No, I don't think that's what he meant. I speak Jake. I know what he meant.
He knows what I meant.
I know what he meant.
Jake. I speak English.
The price is right. The price is right, Bob.
Oh. He's doing the callback about that when he had. I think I understand what you were saying. That there's the really elite teams, there's the pretty good teams, and then there's a pile of crap. Is that what you were saying, Jake?
He's saying there's a large distance
There's
between.
a large
Yes.
distance
2
in
and 3.
between 1 and 2, and then
And
the
I
rest
think
of
you
them.
were trying to do
use
the Brad
fecal
Pitt
matter.
Moneyball thing, where you're like,
14
here's the
yeah.
good teams.
Yeah. There's bad teams.
Well, that's
There's,
yep.
there's
Yeah.
18 layers of crap, and then
Uh-huh.
there's us.
Yeah. Brad Pitt actually stole that line from me. So just knowledge.
I'm not at all surprised.
Knowledge drop.
Well,
Considering the movie came out 20 years ago, I'm sure you were just quite the quote machine.
I think that whoever had Jake compares himself to Brad Pitt on the
I
bingo
did
board
not
wins
compare
tonight.
myself to Brad. You guys are miscalculating everything I'm saying tonight. This is incredible. I did not
I love
compare
it so
myself to
much.
Brad
Listen,
Pitt.
when we get the transcripts back from this show, oh wait, we don't do that.
Shoot. Well, let's talk about the game that we have coming up on Saturday in Camp Randall against Wisconsin, a team that has managed to score 7 points, I think, in their last 4 games. Am I correct about that?
Don't be fooled. They are a tough out.
They are a tough out, and absolutely that's true. And I think for the Huskies to be taken seriously, obviously we got to win. We got to go 4-0 in our next 4 weeks, and it starts at Camp Randall. But they gotta win, and they gotta do it in style on Saturday. What do you guys think?
Just hold them to their 5 points a game average in conference, and we'll be okay.
Look, their last 4 games, yes, it's 17 points. The last 3 games have been 7 points. But the last 4 games have been murderers row. They've played
Yes.
Michigan at Michigan versus Iowa versus Ohio State at Oregon. So it's absolutely been death row for them. The funny part to me is that even with that murderers row, they have 12 total touchdowns as a team, and Jonah Coleman has 15 by himself. That's a absolutely astounding number. So they just don't score at a clip that I haven't seen in a long time. That offense is absolutely terrible. Are we the team that gets, what's the coach's name? Is it Fickle?
Luke Fickle.
Are we the one that tarmacs him? Does he make it past this week? I mean, if they go out and they lose by 25 at home, are they going to let him hang around for the rest of the year? Why would you?
2 points. 1, you can't tarmac somebody at home. 2, Madison doesn't have a tarmac.
They'll drive him to Milwaukee and tarmac him there.
So here's
And drive him to the biggest city in the state.
Here's
Walk
what I'll
him
say
out.
about that. I think he chose a really good year to not perform well. I think that a guy with a resume from before he got there at Cincinnati is a guy that you maybe give a little bit, extend a little more grace to. I don't know what his buyout is, but with all of the jobs ahead of you that are going to be open, maybe you give him another year. However, are they going to win a third game?
They have 1 game this year that they've scored over 17 points. 1 game, and that's against Middle Tennessee. That includes a win over Miami of Ohio where they won 17-0. Every other game is 14 or below.
In conference, they're averaging a little over 5 points a game.
That's an atrocity. If they go out and they score 21 on us, is anybody happy?
No.
Even if we
that makes me really worried because all of these things are totally valid, Jake, and I just worry that is Wisconsin going to be our Arizona State.
I guess the good news behind that is that the following week they have Indiana, so that'll be their college football playoff, hopefully, and they really want to win that game. Go out and play for Fickle and try to save his job. I don't think it's against us.
They got Indiana, then they have Illinois, and then they have Minnesota, who are all perfectly capable of putting up points and beating them. Listen, I'm going to pray to 8 pounds, 6 ounce baby Jesus that we finally take care of the road nonsense and just come out fast, do what we do. They don't have enough speed to stop us. They're not big and strong like they're not like the typical bully Wisconsin. They have 2 quarterbacks that have kind of have equal stats. They've both thrown 5 interceptions. They both have around 600 yards passing. Their top running backs only got 300 yards rushing at this point in the season, which is astounding for a Wisconsin team that is known for putting up rushing yards. They are they're just having a bad year. Personnel's bad. They have a tough schedule, obviously, because, man, I don't know who set up this schedule for them, but if they even thought they were going to be a good team this year, this last month was going to knock them on their ass no matter what.
They have to play 5 games out of 6 with playing their opponent off a bye, because that's what we've had.
And now they get us off a bye. So.
Even at their best, like, they had a really tough schedule. So do you take that into account when you're thinking about letting go of a Luke Fickell who's been successful? You have Alabama on the schedule, Maryland, which they're an up-and-coming team. Then it's Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State, Oregon, us, and then the last part of that schedule. There's not a lot of wins on that schedule, even if you're a middle-of-the-road team.
They don't look good at anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they held Oregon to 7 points in the first half. They gave up 14 in the second half. They were able to get after. What's that?
I think Oregon held themselves to that.
I mean, they tackled well.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, like, their defense isn't necessarily what it. I don't know. I'm trying to make it. I guess I'm a Luke Fickell defender now, because they are really, really bad. And if this game is anywhere close, I'm going to be pretty upset.
Hey guys, I know what he's doing. He's trying to pump up Luke Fickell for that UCLA job. I see what you're doing, big guy.
Cheat code for Trev.
Baby Blues need somebody
a break.
Yeah,
they need a nonsense Midwesterner to really pull that program out of the doldrums.
Row the boat, if you will. I know that's PJ Fleck, but whatever.
Look, honestly, we've had so many games where it's like, we should go out there and, in Wisconsin, Michigan, we should have played a lot better and we should have won that game. We should never have struggled with Maryland. The only game in the Jedfish era that we have gone out and taken care of business was the Cougs this year. And the way to be taken seriously by the college football playoff, the way to reestablish yourself as a serious program, is to go out to Madison, win, and look good doing it. And anything less than that is going to be a disappointment.
And you know what we have this time that we haven't had since Washington State is of the left side of the offensive line. And a Carver Willis who's playing through like a bum knee and still a much better option at the left tackle than anybody else, and having John Mills back. That's why this game isn't going to be like Maryland or freaking Michigan or anything like that, where we struggle to figure out our identity. It's going to be a lot more like Illinois, where we came out, the offense looked good.
Look, Maryland can at least fling the rock around the field, right? Like, they can move the ball with efficiency. They can move the ball. They can score in bunches. They did against us in the first half. No matter how good Wisconsin's defense is this year, they can get after the quarterback a little bit. I am not afraid of their offense at all. I mean, we talked about this a little bit ago. If they scored 21 on us this weekend, I would be in shambles mentally.
How's that?
I mean, what you're gonna have like 9 in the box.
Yeah.
Like, I dare you to throw on our corners. It's not gonna happen. And the thing is like, this Damon Williams is a better quarterback than Dante Moore. Our receivers are much better than the Oregon receivers. We're also, I mean, it's on the road. I don't know what the weather's going to be like in Wisconsin, but
not good.
Okay. Doesn't matter. We have Jonah Coleman as well.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, we have to keep DeMond upright. That's the one thing that I could see us getting in trouble this game, is if all of a sudden Wisconsin's bringing the pressure, they're bringing blitzes, DeMond gets in trouble, gets sacked 3 or 4 times, make a couple bad decisions like he did earlier in the year, kind of reverts back to early season. Not early season DeMond, but like Ohio State DeMond.
No left side of the offensive line DeMond.
Yeah. If that happens, then I could see Wisconsin hanging around a little bit longer than they should. But the caveat to that is that Jonah Coleman has the ability to beat Wisconsin 1v11, sorry. And he can outrun every single player on that defense, and he can score on them by himself.
They averaged 3.2 yards a rush. Wisconsin football averages just over 3 per carry. What?
That's like the one thing they've always been good at.
Yeah, since forever. So we think that we're pretty confident that we're going to be going in there and getting a win. The question is by how much? What do you guys think?
Well, it is on the road. So we're going to take the first quarter off at least.
At least. I hope that makes YouTube. I hope that
dude, you're slutty YouTube, cat, dude.
Hey, man. For anybody listening to the podcast, if you haven't gone to YouTube yet, do it now. And at what minute are we at right now? 26-minute mark. You're going to find an absolute golden starfish on Leah's screen, and it's the best thing I've seen all day. Do yourself a favor.
This used to be a civilized podcast.
There's no way that somebody was not going to say something about that. I looked at Trevor, he smirked, and then what do you do, man? What do you do? Like,
you know what? I was trying to play it off and not say anything.
No, man.
You just did a TED Talk on her cat.
That was the best thing I've seen all day. Oh, my God.
Man.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, Coach.
She just wants to make her voice heard.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's a hell of a way. That's a hell of a way. Damn.
We talk about the polls earlier. We got to keep Leah's cat off one.
Oh, yeah.
That's just, come on now.
Yeah.
All right, shake it off. Shake it off.
All right, Coach, back to your point.
We were talking about how much the Huskies are going to win by.
So anyway, we'll probably take a few drives off just because it's tradition at this point. But I can honestly see a scenario where this is a pretty comfortable win. And I'm thinking like 38-12 or 38-15 or somewhere in that range. Wisconsin will get in the end zone one time at least. But I'm not telling you it's going to be against the starters. Like, I really don't think that I'm being unreasonable here to expect a 25-point or more win.
I think Jake and Trevor still recovering from my cat flashing them.
I'm trying. Yeah. So
Jake keeps smirking at me.
because of that, I'm gonna pick Wisconsin to pick 0. I'm gonna 17. I don't want them to score over 20.
I think my score is gonna be like 32-13. I think we're gonna finally, like, at the end of the first quarter, start to look good. We're not gonna take a full quarter off. Close, but not quite. It's by halftime they're going to be down by over 14 points, and they're going to be wondering how the heck do I climb out of this hole.
31-9.
Is that a safety in there, Trev?
They've got like 5 field goals all year. They're going to get 3 in this one.
Is that a touchdown and a safety?
No, 3 field goals. They're gonna. No, that's too many times in the red zone. 30.
Doesn't have to be in the red zone.
I'm going to stick with it. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Get nuts.
Well, elsewhere around the country, we have some exciting games going on and some interesting spreads. Indiana, number 2.
Interesting spreads. She actually said it.
7. I podcast with 12-year-olds. Number 2, Indiana at unranked Penn State. And Indiana only has 14.5 in this game. I think that's very low.
Yeah.
Indiana by 40.
Yeah. I think accurate.
Wait, who are they playing?
Penn State.
Oh, no. This is going to be a barn burner.
But it's at Penn State. That's probably why it's only 14.5, but still.
Listen, James Franklin is gone now. They can finally free themselves to be who they really are. Penn State, 17. Indiana, 42.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Jason said 48-14, so you were pretty close, Coach. Number 5, Georgia at Mississippi State. Georgia's got 8.5 points.
Georgia's really good, but I actually think Mississippi State's pretty good too.
They just keep losing closely.
I know that's the problem, right? Like, I think they're a good football team. Like,
Didn't they give up a stupid punt touchdown?
Yeah, man. What a brutal way to lose, too.
Yeah.
They had that game in the bag, too.
Yep.
But I think Georgia's really good. I think that early season loss was kind of a fluke. I think Georgia's going to roll by like 13.
It's probably accurate.
Mississippi State 31 and Georgia 24.
Now, does Georgia move up in the polls because of a close loss?
Yeah, they'll actually be the number 1 team in the country.
You joke, but I wouldn't put it past him at all.
And then Kirk Herbstreit will come on and be like, listen, Ohio State's a very good team, but you can't lose any better than the way Georgia did to Mississippi State.
Mississippi State will end up being 6th.
Yeah, it just shows how deep the SEC is by Mississippi State just coming out and just laying the lumber on Georgia. Get out of here.
Exactly. Number 7, BYU at Texas Tech. Tech has 10.5.
Yeah, I think Tech's really good.
I think Tech's good too.
I think BYU's going to keep it close for a while, but I think Texas Tech's probably going to win. Like, does either one of them play defense? 35-25?
BYU just like doesn't do anything spectacularly well. They just keep winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. And that works until you play a team that's like pretty explosive like Texas Tech is. I think Texas Tech is going to be the Big 10-12 champion and probably I don't know what BYU's schedule is, but I mean, how many Big 12 teams do you think are going to get into the tournament? Yeah.
Just one.
That would be my guess.
Where's that game at?
Texas Tech, Lubbock.
Yeah.
So I think.
Do you think they're gonna cover, or you think it's gonna be closer than 10.5?
Oh.
I said
Jake took 10.
I did take 10. I took 35-25.
I'll take BYU's points. I think it'll be close.
So here's the deal. I watched that same Texas Tech team lose to Arizona State, who is pretty good. They're not spectacular. The Big 12 is a heaping pile of dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
So for me personally, going up against for our high school season, we got our last home game against my old school, who has a very large LDS community in Mesa, and they're going to be pretty sad after Friday. So they're going to need BYU to pick me up sort of deal on Saturday. BYU's going to upset Texas Tech by 3 points. 28.
Okay.
25.
Yeah, I think BYU knows that if they don't win this game, they're probably not going to go to the playoffs, sadly, because they'll probably have to play Texas Tech again, and they'd have to beat them twice. But number 1, Ohio State at Purdue. Ohio State has 29.5.
I'm really interested in this game to see what Ohio State does against Purdue. I don't think Purdue's very good. I think Ohio State is really good. They're above that pile of shit, coach. And I think Ohio State's going to win by like 35. I think they're just going to end up. Ohio State's defense is so good. Purdue's not even going to get a first down in the first quarter.
I'd say that like they won't cover because they're just going to run some base offense and just boa constrictor Purdue, but like I think they're going to run into like 28 points accidentally. So all they need is another score and there's your spread. So 29.5 is a lot of points, but I don't know.
It's a month's worth for Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. I'm just saying. I was watching a little bit of the Michigan-Purdue game last week, thinking that Michigan was like, oh, they're coming off a win against us. They're just going to roll these guys. And Purdue just kept dinking and dunking and hanging around. And then they, the freshman quarterback from Michigan looked like the freshman quarterback from Michigan again when he didn't have us propping him up. I know they're not going to come close to beating Ohio State, but I think that they've found maybe an identity of just being annoying enough to hang around. Obviously, Michigan's not that good. But what was the spread again?
29.5.
Yeah, I think Purdue's going to surprise some people. They're going to lose by 27. I think they're really going to hang in there for a while.
Yeah, I think you're right, Coach, that Ohio State's going to show us with their win against Purdue how mediocre Michigan is.
It's really weird that we lost them like that. I'm still not over it. I'm not.
All right, number 3, Texas A&M. Booger McFarland's number 1 team in the country. At number 22, Mizzou. A&M's got 6.5.
Can we finally get Mizzou out of the top 25?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this would be their 4th loss, right?
Yeah. Can we just let's go? Okay, please. You know what, Booger, make them the number 1 team in the country. Just get these people, get this program out of this list.
What do you mean, these people?
These people. I knew that was coming. That's hilarious.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Huh?
These people.
Yeah.
Jeez.
From the show me state.
Mm.
I think you're showing me a lot right now, Trev. You and your Luke Fickle agenda. Shameful.
He's speaking with Bruin money. He's big Bruin.
Something's
Big
brewing.
Bruin money. Does that exist? No, it doesn't.
For basketball.
Not for football. Yeah, for basketball.
Mm. All right.
And softball, apparently.
Outside of our game, this is probably going to be the game that we're all most interested in. Number 9, Oregon at number 20, Iowa. Oregon has 6.5.
It's not good. Apparently, it's not going to be nice at game time either. So,
Oregon underperformed in the "it never rains at Autzen Stadium" situation 2 weeks ago. They very much underperformed. So,
And basically in 2025.
so
Go ahead, Trev.
That's a oof. They're going to lose.
Who was they?
I don't know.
These people.
Those people.
answer the question, Trevor.
Yeah. Iowa's going to win.
I have Iowa winning.
I'm going to use the same logic that I did against Indiana, and that's that like anytime whatever I predict with Oregon, it ends up being the opposite. I think Oregon's going to get well against Iowa. They're not going to look good. They're going to win. They're not going to cover. I would say they probably win by 5, but not 6.5.
I think if this game was in Autzen, it'd be a little bit different story.
Mm-hmm.
On the road, though, I think it's going to be a slosh. I think it's going to be a struggle. I think that they've struggled to look sharp, Oregon has, all year long. Iowa's going to muck up the water. They're going to muck up the waters a little bit. They're going to wave to the Children's Hospital. They're going to do all the cool Iowa things. And in the end, it's going to take a late Oregon field goal to survive Kinnick Stadium. I don't think it's going to be a really aesthetically pleasing game. It's going to be something along the lines of like 24-21. Oregon escapes just barely so they can keep that resume nice and tight for when they come to Seattle and lose it all.
Yeah, could happen. It would be very funny if there were a couple of players on Oregon's team that were under 18 and then they, by happenstance, got injured. We could wave at them at the hospital, but don't wish for injuries.
Lord. It was dark.
It was dark. You know what? We missed Jakey last week because it was our Halloween episode and we did not get to see Blackbeard Delight. I'm very sad about that.
Oh.
I know. Filled the world.
I'd still like to see the picture of that Halloween costume because I absolutely think you killed it as Ryan Day.
It didn't happen.
Jake!
I know. My son won over my brother-in-law. My son did not want me to go as Ryan Day. He wanted me to go as a zombie bite victim because he was a zombie. And my son wins every time, so I did not go as Ryan Day, and I'm not sorry about it. Maybe next year, if CJ's cool with me not going as the zombie bite victim, I'll go as Ryan Day, but I can't let the big man down.
Point of a question. Isn't a zombie bite victim pretty much a zombie?
I mean, not before you turn. I was an unaware bite victim.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So you were just sweaty?
There's a small window there, yeah.
Yeah,
You got a little wiggle room.
We didn't trick or treat for very long because I was turning.
Yeah.
I think a zombie bite victim probably looks a lot like a lot of people running around Eugene these days.
I think I actually did go as Ryan Day.
Such a good point. All right, last one we're going to cover. Number 4, Bama against LSU, coachless LSU. Bama's got 10.5.
And they'll
All the
cover it.
points. All the points.
Wouldn't it just be like
Jeremy Bernard
Alabama?
with 3 touchdowns in this game?
Wouldn't it be just like Alabama and Kalen DeBoer to just absolutely lay a dud though? You know, like not
Yes,
lose,
it would.
not lose, but like make it way too close. Go into this game unprepared and like win by like 2 on a last
They've
second
been
field goal.
so close to losing a game in the last couple of weeks, Jake, that I'm going to stand on that with you. That like I don't think that they're going to make it through the last 4 weeks of the schedule unscathed.
That's what they said in 2023 as well.
Yeah. Honestly, though, LSU's they've not been good all year. And I don't know why we expect them with an interim coach to just rise up against the tide. And
Maybe
just
Les
put
Miles
forth
was the
this-
problem, though.
I mean, he's always been the problem. I'm just sorry I didn't correct anybody that night.
That was so funny because I was listening to it and I'm like, you guys actually think that's the coach? Oh my! And I texted the group chat. I'm like, do you know how many times you said it? That was so funny. I loved it. Brian Kelly was the coach. He's the biggest asshole in football. Do we have anything else to discuss before we wrap for tonight?
Just win.
Just win, baby.
Just
I would
win.
very much love to see on Saturday. I would like to see a complete performance, a dominant
Mhm.
performance on the road to kick all of this just bad juju. And I would very much love to see a pass rush come from somewhere. I would love to see us rush for 150 yards. I would like for us to throw for 250 or more yards. That type of like complete game. And I would like to see us get the young guys involved. Not just the big 3. And I would like to just by the third quarter just be like, all right, let's just start resting people for next week. That's all. I don't want the Seahawks kick the shit out of the Cardinals because all these people at work got all crazy about beating the Cowboys this week, and come on, dude, you have 3 wins.
3.
So
Also, I'd like the Mariners to sign Josh Naylor. Pretty please.
You're gonna have to wait a few minutes for that one.
I can be patient, but that's what I want.
We all do.
I know. Well, that will do it for another episode of 4th and Inches, a Husky podcast. Be sure to catch us on YouTube for the surprise flashing of my black cat today.
That's not a euphemism. That's just a thing that happened.
It's just a thing that happened. And if you enjoy cat butthole flashings, this was the episode for you to tune into on YouTube.
It's like Dave Chappelle always said, keep your butthole tight.
You guys are killing me. And also, if you're not so inclined to go on YouTube, you can always follow us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. We always appreciate everyone listening and giving us comments and telling us how much you love the podcast because we love doing it.
Please, Trevor got a haircut for this.
He did get a haircut, although Jake did not dye his beard. He is with us, and we're really happy to have him. It's always fun when it's the 4 of us. So we will be back in your ears next week when we hopefully talk about the Huskies taking care of some business in Madison. So for Jake Grant, Coach V, Trevor Mueller, I'm UW. You can't be taken seriously in the national polls unless you take care of business on the road. And you got to take care of the games that you absolutely need to win and look good doing so. So let's put up a big fat dub in Camp Randall, take care of business, and dunk on the Badgers. Beat Wisconsin. Go Dogs. The real UW. Shout out J-Cap.